Hi. So, I built this thing about 3 years ago. It didn't really run that well because it had carburetor problems. So, this thing has spark problems but has basically the same engine, but probably a good carburetor. So I'm going to try and fix it. So I took the shaft off of this thing, and this weed eater is just not very good. There's no clutch in it, and there was 2 bolts holding the shaft onto it. And my experience with these engines in the past are that they just break. Like, this one supposedly got used for a few times for about a year. And I mean, look how clean the engine is in there. These things are not worth your money. So I took the coil off of this thing because I originally took it off the sander to try and fix this one, and it just refuses to spark. About the only thing left it could be is this flywheel. And so the guy I was working on it for told me to just keep this thing, and he was going to buy a different weed eater since this one was apparently 40 bucks brand new. So just got to stick this thing back onto the sander and put it back together. So I got the parts that I want off the weed eater over there. Just threw it on that chair. So now I put a carburetor and a coil on this thing, and in theory it should run. So for some reason I decided to cut this wire at some point, so a little inconvenient, but not a huge deal. Just got to fix that. Apparently my wire ran away, so I gotta go to the store. Also, I know what's causing the check engine light, and I'm comfortable ignoring it. So I made a new wire. It's a little bit thicker than the last one, but whatever, it should work. That's what the store had. So I've done everything but the carburetor so far, and it actually kind of runs with the one that's been on it for 3 years, which is honestly kind of surprising. It needs a lot of work, but I'm probably still going to put the newer one on it anyways. It's probably the best this thing's ever run, at least in the time that I've owned it. Alright, it's about time for the first test fire, where it's actually going to spin the belt. I was a little bit scared of this old 3-year-old belt right here, so I zip tied this on here in hopes that it does something. Alright, let's try it. Turn up the throttle a tad. Alright, works. Guess I should go find something to sand on it. That looks pretty good. Alright, set this back up. Be back in a minute. Alright. Belt got off center there. How'd that happen? Alright, so what happened there was this thing vibrates like crazy, and this adjusts where the belt sits side to side. And so it backed out a bunch and let it rub up against this, and it actually threw some sparks. I don't know how easy that'll be to see on camera. And so to keep this from moving, I went with the easy solution of shoving 2 little cotton wheels from my Dremel in there. And then I also threw a new belt on it while I was at it, because that's what you do. So now we're going to have attempt 2 at this. Alright, I hopefully got you a better angle this time so you can actually see the belt. Let's try it again. I think the engine could do with a little more power for this, but it works fairly well.